This is KGW News at noon.
Well, winter's not quite done with us yet. This ODOT cam caught the snow falling along I-5 at Elligson just a few hours ago, but none of it stuck. On the east side, same deal along Interstate 205. You can see a few big fat flakes falling. And then to the north across the Columbia River, this is what it looked like in Camas this morning. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I'm Brenda Braxton. Let's head back to the Weather Center and check in with Rod for a look at the radar.
Yeah, remember, this is one of our big stories at noon yesterday. The fact that Futurecast showed this was going to come up during the morning hours, we gave it a decent chance of happening, and here we are 24 hours later. All of the white is snow. Now, it's mostly been flurry / really light snow, but there have been some spots. Brenda showed you some pictures, get some accumulation on the ground. The back edge of this has now cleared the Columbia River mostly, except for out on the east side in the gorge. Battleground, you're just about ready to get out of this as well. Now, if we pull out, you can see it's mainly scattered rain showers all the way south between Eugene and Salem right now. So a lot of us starting to get into some dry time, but we will still have that scattered shower chance and maybe some hail later today if we open up some sun breaks. Here are the temperatures. So Portland is now drying out and we're up to 39 degrees. Still clouds with some light snow in the area in Camas where it's 34. Sherwood 41, drying out. This was snow earlier this morning, but now with some sun breaks, Kaiser and Salem all the way up to 44. So that's what's coming for the Rose City. Real quick, this was Eddie sent me this photo on my KGW Rod Hill Facebook page. He says up in Sandy, 1 to 2 inches of snow fell out of this. This is Camas Meadows Golf Course just about 15 minutes ago. Still some snow in the air and just a really light dusting on the greens. Stoller Family Vineyards Estate, the hill was completely covered several hours ago. Look at it now. Partly cloudy skies warming into the 40s. Downtown Portland, a raindrop on the lens and 38. So all of us, if you still have some light snow, it's about ready to end. I'll put us up into the mid 40s for Portland, warmer down in Salem. Don't forget scattered showers, maybe some hail later today. Snow, rain, hail in one day, Brenda Braxton, maybe.
That's something else. Thank you, sir. Well, this noon, we have data showing the human toll of last summer's heat wave in the Portland metro area. The Multnomah County Medical Examiner officially confirmed that 5 people died of hyperthermia in July and August. 4 of them were in homes with no AC, and 1 was homeless. Last July, the region saw its longest stretch of extreme heat on record, with 7 straight days of temperatures above 95 degrees. Well, to help people living on the street, Washington County announced it will spend $10 million on shelters and housing support. The County Board of Commissioners approved the money today. It'll pay for renovations and maintenance at existing shelters and help create new pod villages serving more than 300 people in 7 different locations. You can see a partial list of those here. Beaverton, Tualatin, Hillsborough, they plan to create a total of 110 new beds and 105 new units. Well, today is International Women's Day, and Portland's first day shelter for women is celebrating a milestone. Rosehaven is marking its 1-year anniversary, and its new expanded facility on Northwest Gleason allowed it to triple the number of people it serves. Rosehaven is Portland's only day shelter and community center focused on serving women, children, and gender-diverse people.
I've been coming here for I'd say over 15 years now. This is like my home away from home. Thanks to them, I got stable, got an apartment. I'm very happy, and Rosehaven they've been so helpful to all the women here. I consider these people my friends in my home.
Rosehaven has served more than 3,000 people and says it envisions a community where everyone has safety, stability, love, health, and a home. 2 victims of Oregon's jogger rapist are speaking out. They want state law changed after Richard Gilmore got out of prison back in December. Now these women are on a mission to protect others from convicted sex offenders in the future. KGW's Mike Benner has their story.
It affects you forever.
A tearful Tiffany Edens reflects on her rape at the hands of Richard Gilmore, who was released from his 36-year prison sentence back in December. In fact, you might recall Edens putting up flyers in the Old Town neighborhood, where Gilmore moved into transitional housing as a low-level sex offender. Edens said then, and again Tuesday in Salem, Gilmore is a danger.
He will kill the next victim. He will kill that girl.
That's why Edens and Danielle Tudor, another victim of Gilmore's, worked with state lawmakers on Senate Bills 1022 and 1023. Senate Bill 1022 would require the state to consider almost everything when assigning a risk level to a sex offender, not just what was admissible in court. The bill, among other things, would also require the state to do a better job of letting the public know where a sex offender lives.
These are rapists, they're sex offenders, they're child abusers.
Not enough can be done, Edens says, to protect the public, and Tudor agrees. Gilmore raped her but was never prosecuted for it because it fell outside the statute of limitations at the time. Senate Bill 1023 calls for people like Tudor to be considered a victim and given access to information about their attackers, something Tudor struggled with upon Gilmore's release late last year.
This bill really tackles all the obstacles that we ran into.
Both Tudor and Edens alike say there should be no obstacles when it comes to something like this, and they hope lawmakers on both sides of the aisle see it that way too.
This is not a party issue. I hope that everybody can come on board with this because this is really a community issue and a society issue.
I'm Mike Benner for KGW News.
In less than 3 hours, the man accused in a deadly shooting at Normandale Park will be back in court, and he's expected to change his plea. Benjamin Smith is accused of opening fire on protesters in the park at 57th and Northeast Halsey last February. One woman died, 5 other people were hurt. During his initial court hearing, Smith pleaded not guilty, but today the Multnomah County DA's office expects him to enter a guilty plea. Smith is facing murder and attempted murder charges. His hearing is set for 3 o'clock. We'll let you know what happens. People living in Portland's Argay Terrace neighborhood say they feel blindsided by plans to turn an abandoned Kmart store into a giant distribution warehouse. The building has been an eyesore for years, but as Catherine Cook explains, this is not the change the community had hoped for.
Cyclone fencing surrounds the old Kmart building on Northeast 122nd and Sandy. Looking at it now, it's tough to imagine what the property once was. But what it may become,
my concern is just for my neighbors and my community here,
is upsetting many who live in and around this neighborhood. California-based company Prologis plans to turn the site into a 260,000 square foot freight distribution warehouse. Not quite the dream of revitalization many here have had.
And so, the idea of that being blighted by a 38-bay diesel truck transfer station just blows my mind, honestly.
Braylon Deal Erickson lives in Maywood Park, not far from the warehouse site. He started this petition on change.org opposing the warehouse project. After 1 week, nearly 3,000 people had signed it. Braylon's top concerns are pollution from all the diesel trucks and safety, especially for kids. This map shows just how close the proposed site is to Parkrose High School, Parkrose Middle School, and several sports fields. All of it right across the street.
Those fields are in use all the time.
Kate Lamb's grandkids attend Parkrose schools.
This area already has the highest levels of diesel emissions, and we just don't need any more. We are a food desert and a restaurant desert down here, for sure. And I know the community would support something like that.
Prologis hopes the community will support their vision once they learn more about it. That includes plans to spend $39 million on redeveloping the property, which they say would be LEED certified. They're also planning street improvements to increase pedestrian safety. That includes room for a 6-foot bike lane and a 6-foot sidewalk along 122nd. Prologis shared a statement with KGW that read in part, We are making a significant investment to convert the idle, vacant site and build a modern, sustainable logistics facility that will create new jobs and support the local economy. We will continue to engage with the community on this project, which is zoned for industrial use, including any concerns around traffic, and work with the city to obtain the necessary approvals.
It's not a done deal. They can't do anything until they get the permits.
Kate and other neighbors say until that happens, they'll keep fighting plans for a warehouse and holding on to the dream of something more for where they live.
You know, North Portland, where I work, they get a green zebra and a New Seasons Market. We get a diesel transfer station. It doesn't feel equitable.
Catherine Cook, KGW News.